Hi, this is Kit Cabello of Harlens Media and our continued coverage of the 2017 Socialism event here at the McCormick Place in the city of Chicago. I'm joined here with activist Anderson Bean. Anderson, thank you for joining Harlens Media.
Thank you.
All right, so essentially, we were live streaming your event, which is U.S. intervention in Latin America. Now, currently, as we are all aware, there is a crisis happening in Venezuela. What are your thoughts on this event that's happening there, and essentially, what's the end result?
Yeah, I think it's hard to predict what the end result is. I think that there's a major crisis, probably the worst crisis in Venezuela, at least since 1989, maybe going further back. There's problems with inflation and lines for products. There's a violent right-wing opposition who is involved in all sorts of different, attacking public health clinics, attacking public buses. There's cases of them stretching wire across the street to decapitate motorcyclists. And what we have is the Maduro government, who is, in my opinion, not doing enough to kind of combat the right. I think that in order to beat the right wing and to kind of find a successful or an end of the crisis, I think we need a left-wing alternative to Maduro. And I think there's some sectors in Venezuela that are doing that. Socialist is one of them. Kind of an alternative left to Maduro that might have better solutions to ending the crisis in Venezuela.
Essentially, would you say that Venezuela is just another example of U.S. intervention and neoliberalism trying to have control over Latin America?
I think that's part of it. I think that the U.S. has wanted to kind of get rid of the Chavez or Maduro government since its inception. It backed the coup in 2002. The coup dismantled the National Assembly. It dismantled the Supreme Court. And this is the kind of, and the United States supported this coup. And I think that they have been supporting this opposition for, 17 years now. $100 million is one estimate of money that's gone to the opposition. So I think that it's definitely part of the U.S.'s strategy in Latin America to remove Maduro and put in place something that is more pliant to U.S. interests in the region. So I think that you could say that part of it. I don't think the entire explanation comes from U.S. imperialism, but I think that U.S. imperialism and the U.S. role in Venezuela is a very important component to that.
And what would be the result for Cuba? Because currently our current president, Donald Trump, is talking about lifting sanctions or reimposing sanctions on Cuba. What's going to happen to that government? And if so, what would be their end result?
Yeah, I think it's hard to say. Trump recently said that he was going to reverse parts of the Obama's kind of reopening of relations with Cuba. There's some things that will be left in place, like remittances, but in terms of travel restrictions, in terms of doing business in Cuba, Trump said he's going to reverse a lot of that, and I think that that's a bad thing. I think that although we are opposed to the entire embargo, and the Obama's relaxation of relations didn't completely remove the embargo, it was maybe a step in that direction, and I think that any reversal of that, any reinstatement of the full embargo, I think is another expression of U.S. imperialism, which is a history of doing bad things in Latin America. So.
All right, and now speaking of Trump, there's a G20 summit that's happening, and currently there are protesters who are clashing with the police forces there. What are your thoughts on the G20 summit, and will there be any kind of difference from their decision making from that summit compared to last year?
I'm going to withhold to speak on that because I'd want to, know more about that before I spoke on it.
So then let's get a little bit of background about yourself. So essentially, you're an activist. What do you, where are you located at, and what's the name of your activist group?
Yeah, I'm in Greensboro, North Carolina. I'm part of the International Socialist organization. We have a branch in Greensboro that we're involved in various different struggles. One of the struggles that we're involved in is against police brutality, and we have another one that is based on sanctuary. So sanctuary, fighting for localities, Greensboro, Winston, which is a city that's close to Greensboro, to refuse to cooperate with ICE. We have a woman named Juana in sanctuary in a church in Greensboro, so we're supporting her case. And we also supported another struggle around police brutality in Greensboro. So those are the two kind of major things we're working on now. We've done different movements in the past, but that's kind of the focus right now.
All right. And final question, especially in regards to this event, Socialism 2017, the people we've spoken to, they said this is the largest turnout that they've seen in years. So what do you think the end result of this Socialism 2017 summit will be, and what are the potential future for a socialist party here in the United States?
Yeah, like you said, I think I've been coming for about 10 years now, and this is the largest, I believe, since I've been coming here. And I think that's great. I think that we see a rise of people being open to left-wing ideas, open to socialist ideas, revolutionary socialist ideas. And I think it's really important for people all around the country to come together and talk about strategies and tactics. You know, what are people doing in one locale? What campaigns do they have doing that can help us out? What are we doing that could help other organizations out, other movements out, help other movements, you know, pushing them forward, radicalizing them. And I think that in terms of a third party, I think that the conditions are open for that. I mean, I think there was I might misquote this, but there was a study that came out that said people between 18 and 35, I think it was, or something like that, have more favorable opinions towards socialism than capitalism. And I think there was another report that came out that almost half of people in the United States are not a member of the Republicans or the Democrats. So we have conditions where people are open to socialist ideas, and we have people who are kind of frustrated with the two-party system. And I think that there's a lot of work to be done to building a third party. I think we're in favor of that. I don't know about making any predictions, but I think that that's something that that the conditions are certainly right for.
All right, and a real quick follow-up. Where can our viewers and subscribers find out more about your organization in North Carolina? Or where can they find them on social media?
Well, in terms of the ISO, generally you can check out socialistworker.org. We have I want to say daily, Monday through Thursday, we have articles that are published. In terms of where in Greensboro to get in contact with us, you can check out the International Socialist Organization's website and find the Greensboro branch, and you can find us there.
All right, well, definitely thank you for joining Hard Lens Media, and peace to everyone. Let's all do what we can to build a better future.